And Comte de Champagne, when it's released, this is young. So you can put it in your cellars. You can even have the luxury to forget and the luxury to remember.
I served Taittinger Comte de Champagne at my wedding in 1989. So when I say this house means something to me personally, I mean it. My guest today is Vitalie Taittinger, president of one of Champagne's great houses, and the person who has quietly reimagined what it feels like to walk through those doors as a visitor. We talk about balancing tradition with a genuinely modern vision, and why she believes real luxury has nothing to do with making noise, why Taittinger offers some of the best experiences in Champagne, and much more. This is Uncorking What's Next. I'm Jeff Zachariah. I think you're going to love this one. This episode is brought to you by the Wine Market Journal. If you buy, sell, or collect fine wine, you already know that information matters. I've been in the fine wine business for more than 40 years. The Wine Market Journal is my one source of truth. It tracks actual market prices, not opinions, not asking prices. Real auction transaction data from across the globe. Plus, it has great filtering capabilities, so you can easily see the data that is relevant for you. I spent decades in the auction business, and I can tell you, understanding market value changes the game. If you're making decisions in fine wine, make informed ones. Visit winemarketjournal.com to learn more. Plus, Uncorkers can get 10% off their first year of a standard premium or professional annual subscription. Just enter Uncorking in the promo code field at checkout. Welcome to this episode of Uncorking What's Next, because learning about wine should be every much as enjoyable as drinking it. I'm your host, Jeff Zachariah. Today I'm here with Vitalie Taittinger, president of Taittinger. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Perfectly correctly.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. And while I certainly want to talk about the great champagnes of Taittinger, I also am very interested in uncorking what I'll call the Taittinger experience, what you offer people who come to visit you. I still remember my first visit to Taittinger in 1982.
Tell me.
It was a beautiful visit. I was working in Ep3 for the summer, not at Taittinger, at another champagne house, but I was interested. I really hadn't had much champagne. I was really interested in visiting, and Taittinger was definitely one of the highlights of my visit. So much so that when I was married in '89, I served the '82 Comte de Champagne at the wedding. So it was a really special visit for me back in the day. For me, Taittinger is without a doubt one of the great champagne houses. And when I think of Taittinger, I think of precision and elegance. How would you describe what Taittinger represents these days?
I'm super happy that you are choosing the name of precision and elegance, because this is especially about that. You told something very important you want to share with people, and we are a family. So there is something which is coming from the heart, and something coming from your own taste. And I think that definitely you can be in luxury and you can have some trends and everything. I think that the fact that we are a family is about what we are totally loving in our champagne, what we are able to produce. We never could be able to give to the people that love champagne something that we don't love ourselves.
Yeah.
So this is about that. We are a team of brother and sister. We are working together for more than 20 years.
Wow.
So I think that in Champagne, this is quite rare to have a team which represent more than a century of experience.
Yeah, your family is part of a deep, rich tradition in Champagne with a modern vision. That's something that really excited me.
Very modern one.
Yeah, who in the family has been driving the modern vision?
I think this is a sharing vision. We are super complementary. I think that he's something, I'm something. I'm coming from the art, but he's super creative. And I think this is a game of contrasts. Me, I studied art, but weirdly, I'm more structured.
Than your brother.
And he studied sales, and he's super creative. I think finally we are reaching together in a perfect way, and this is the same with the rest of the team. And basically, we couldn't do that alone, and this is not the aim of the game, because we love to work together.
Of course not. But I imagine, like in a marriage, because working with someone as a partner is a type of marriage. But those tensions can be very healthy and good when you have different ways of looking at things, right?
Exactly.
It can really just strengthen the company overall. Do people engage with champagne in a different way now than maybe my generation? I don't know if your generation looks at it differently, and have you had to change the way that you respond because of that?
I think that today we have changed totally the visitor experience, but changing everything, we respect tremendously what has been done before. The most important, this is not necessarily to look to the other people, they are loving you. I think they are waiting for something which is coming from us.
Yeah, I looked at all the visitor experiences, and the one that intrigued me the most, at least, was the jus d'assemblage. Right? It's something I've done a couple times where you're actually doing the blending and understanding how important the blending is for making the champagne.
Totally.
And when people come for the experiences, you offer a number of different experiences. If someone's coming the first time to Taittinger, is there one that you feel that they should do?
When you are coming to Taittinger, the most important is to understand what is motivating the creation of the cuvée. So, of course, you have the cellars. The cellars, this is, I think that everybody is sharing about the experience of Taittinger.
When they visit the actual cellars, the caves.
Yes.
Yeah.
What it teaches you, this is about the long term. When we are seated on cellars like that, from the 3rd century, what have to lead your action every day is a long term. Champagne is a very long-term process. Honestly, all the experiences are very interesting depending what you love. You have one which is more cultural, you have one which is about the pairings, and of course you have the restaurants.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is polychrome, which is super, super interesting. And you have the two signatures of Taittinger, the Brut Reserve and the Rosé.
Of course. And the Comte de Champagne Rosé, talk about long-term aging. Right now, I think it's a 2012 that's available. It's a long-term investment that you're doing.
I think that most of the wine all over the world, they are not keeping the wine as long as we are keeping them.
Right.
And this is something which is a commitment of Champagne to deliver on all the markets. Champagne, they are really perfectly ready to be drunk. And Comte de Champagne, when it's released, this is young. So you can put it in your cellars. You can even have the luxury to forget. And the luxury to remember.
I love old champagne. I still have some in my cellar, some 71 Comte de Champagne that I'm looking forward to opening.
71 is a very good year.
Oh, good. What I haven't tried from Taittinger is the 61, which is my birth year. And so I don't know if is that a good vintage as well?
I don't have any idea.
Okay, fair enough. I've had some other champagnes from 61, which have been delicious, but I haven't seen the Taittinger. I'll look around to try to find some.
And I hope you will tell me.
Absolutely. Or we can open it together at some point. But first I have to find the bottle.
With a real pleasure.
That would be my pleasure. To me, luxury is really about the personalization. That's how luxury is most successful. And I'm curious how Taittinger thinks about creating an intimate rather than scripted experience when people come to visit you.
For me, luxury, this is time and human. I think that today everything is going fast. Everybody reduced the production time and everything. So you have a short amount of time of experience for the brand. At Taittinger, even in terms of experience, we based everything on the human. And you have some of companies, they are opening a visitor center and they have some laptop and everything to introduce people to things. For us, the key of the experience are the team. They are welcoming the people. And the first thing that we are trying to do is to make people feel part of the family.
Beautiful.
When you have some people, they are looking at you from the beginning to the end, it can change everything. And for me, the luxury, this is that. And I will tell you how I learned it, how I felt it. I was in Park Hyatt in Tokyo. It was probably my first trip, and I was 28. And I was just joining the company, and my father sent me there. I arrived in this hotel. When I entered in the hall of the hotel, I think that I saw people, they were looking at me. I was nobody as I am today, but they looked at me, and they felt that I was a little bit not at my place. And it was true. I was in Japan. It was my first time. I was in an hotel which was mythic for me. And I was lost, not in translation, but a little bit lost. And they just took me in the hand, and it has been very smooth. They took care of myself, and it was not about gold. It was not about being too much and everything, but it was right. It was super fair. Yeah. And at Taittinger, what I try to do in the experience is to take care about the people. Sometimes you have people, they want to be recognized. You have to see that at once, and you have to respect that. Say, of course, oh, my friend, of course you are welcome and everything. But sometimes you have people that don't want to make noise.
Yeah.
And I have a small daughter. She hates that.
Yeah.
And this is super respectful. So for me, the luxury is to be able to look at the people. And of course, if people, they want something special, they can ask. Our goal is to serve and to make pleasure to people.
Right. That's so great. And how would they ask if they wanted to do? Because I know that there's some bespoke or private events that can happen at special moments. Would they just contact the on the website? Contact you over the website?
On the website, and we have a team who is totally behind the website.
Wow.
And who is receiving all the requests. So this team is fantastic, and I think that today, sometimes we are wrong because we are human. But I think that we have people, they totally are focused on how they can make pleasure to the people we are welcoming. So everybody is trying to understand. Our goal is to serve and to make pleasure to people.
I'll share a personal experience from my son, who got married in 2021 and then went to Paris for his honeymoon, and with my daughter-in-law wanted to visit one champagne house, and Clovis welcomed them. And my daughter-in-law is kind of a quiet person as well, but he charmed her in a way that she came back glowing about Taittinger, right? It was exactly what you're describing is the experience that he gave them over lunch.
For me, this is key. We are in a world where everything is described as a process. I love the fact that we have the freedom to pay attention to each people and to try to understand what they really want, how they are, how they feel. Sometimes you arrive somewhere and you are tired. Sometimes you arrive. No, it's true.
No, it's true, of course.
This is a very sensitive
And what it sounds like is it's not just you and your brother, but it's your whole team.
This is not my brother and I, but all the team is on the same page than us. And we are always discussing when they feel something which is wrong, they are telling us.
Well, one of the other things that always has impressed me about Taittinger is the connection you have between art, gastronomy, and culture. It's something that I find unique to Taittinger. How are those worlds coming together now for you, right? The world of art, gastronomy, and culture.
It has always been part of the company. So for me, it was natural, but much more than before. This is part of Taittinger because I put everything in the heart of the experience. And how we have been educated, this is a mix we were not good students. I think no, my
But
father.
you had fun. I hope
mother,
you had fun at least, right? As a student?
No, but for us, fun was the center of life, and culture, music, emotion with art, and friends, and family, and nature. So this is a big all that we are trying to give to the people that are coming. So now we refurbished all the headquarters. Where are the cellars? So we put nature at the beginning. You enter and you are much more in contact with the nature, and after you discover the house, but you enter in life with art also. You have many art pieces. We have tried to create a world which is very sensitive, and gastronomy is there.
Right, I saw that.
Because of the restaurant.
You have a rotating chef, I think, who comes every year. You have a new chef every year.
Yeah. New chef every year, and 3 different seasons.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. And there's also art. I saw the collection Renaissance that looked beautiful
Totally.
that you have there. To me, that's what makes a visit to Taittinger so special. Is it's not just about the champagne. It's about everything around it. It's about the art. It's about the food. It's about everything that wine should be about. If we could talk for a minute about the next generation of champagne drinkers, which isn't me, but perhaps is you. How do you feel that this next generation is discovering champagne differently than we might have?
I think that we will have to be more clever than today.
Yeah.
I believe that people, you can come from everywhere. You can come from every type of communities and everything. I think that what is our duty is to be honest. And to speak with what we are. I don't want to address a message to this target, this target, this target. I don't want to hire what I think are the young people. Me, I have 4 children. They are all totally different. So
great. Yep. I have 4 children as well. Yeah.
So you know.
Yep.
It's a nonsense to try to target the new generation, because even when I'm thinking about this, is hard to find the common point, and they are all super different, and also because through the social media, through the TV programs, which is a kind of violence and which separate people. My aim is to be able to reconnect people to their own emotion, not
beautiful.
Not taking attention to what they are, to which box they are in. For me, no box. We are all in the same world, and we have all some ways. My best friends, they sometimes have 80 years, and they are younger than I. So I cannot pay attention to that. So this is much more a question to, I am what I am. I do what I really want to do, and what I can do to offer the much beautiful experience, the excellency, to offer the best.
Right.
To be generous. And after, the people they come are the people they are sensitive to that.
Yeah. And that's and as a family business, it really shows the passion that the family has. And I'm talking now perhaps the bigger Taittinger family, for the love of your champagne. It shows in everything that you're doing, and that's great. I'm curious, if someone visits Champagne in the future, what do you hope, if they visit Taittinger, what would you hope when they leave, they say to their friends?
I would love for them to live a peaceful experience, an experience when you forget everything in your life and you are in a bubble, which is not looking like what you were expecting, but something which is an addition between what we are, what they are. With Taittinger, what I would like to do with all the people is to surprise them at the point that they forgot totally for which reasons they were arriving at the house.
Right. They forget about all their emails. They forget about the social media, everything.
This is very important for me, that in this world, Taittinger can be a kind of bubble of peace and a place where you can breathe.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that's exactly what I've heard from people recently when they visited Taittinger. So you've succeeded very well, and I encourage people to come visit you because they'll have that same experience.
To summarize a little bit, this is not our place. This is your place. And we are doing everything for you. So I hope that you feel at home.
So thank you so much for your time today. Before we close, I have a few last questions I'd like to ask you. If you could share an early wine memory, something that really drew you passionately into wine, do you have one that you could share?
Yeah, of course. My first memory of wine was very social because it was probably when I was young, 5 years or 6 years. I don't remember precisely. But my parents, they were having some dinners at home, welcoming people from all over the world. And it was super social, but they were drinking champagne, and it was during the aperitif. And we were not already in the bed at that time because it was too early, but at the end of the aperitif with Clovis, most of the time, we were going into the room and having a sip of champagne, which was warm and smelling like. And I think these are my first memory, and I love that because many years after, when I arrived at Taittinger, the disgorgement was still in the headquarters, and when we were entering after a disgorging session, it was smelling the same.
It's amazing how smells can bring back memories from 30 years ago.
Totally.
Yeah, where that memory is still locked in there. It's such a powerful memory. That's a beautiful one. Thank you for sharing that. And at your time at Taittinger, did you have a breakout moment where you really said, yes, this will be impactful. This is going to be an important change that's meaningful?
The fact that we became the FIFA official champagne.
Oh yes, I know.
So now you are in today.
Yeah. I know that, and it's this summer. It's here in the United States. We're hoping to go to some of the games.
I would always remember the first time we told to all our distributors all over the world that we were the official champagne of the FIFA. It was in Pamplona, in Spain, and it was crazy. They were all like,
My wife is Dutch, and she doesn't follow any sports except the FIFA World Cup. Yeah. And she's a different person when she's watching those games.
Totally. And me, when there is a football match, this is a craziness at home.
Yeah.
Because everybody is battling. No, you have done that. You have done that.
Yeah. Exactly. My wife is all in orange for the Dutch. Everything is orange, and she's crazy about it. It's quite enjoyable to see every 4 years or every 2 years when those happen, because there's the Euro Cup as well. Last question. Please share a piece of advice for someone who feels like they don't belong in wine.
Just taste. Most of the time when you resist, this is because you would adore.
and you're afraid of getting it's like afraid of getting in love because you might get hurt if you fall in love, right?
Oh, I prefer that you are telling the thing. I was thinking about the same.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. But I love it. I love that comparison because, I'm in love with it. But, you don't want to get hurt. So, but try it. Just dive into it because you won't regret it, right? Vitalie, merci beaucoup pour votre temps. C'est un grand plaisir. Je suis sûr la prochaine fois que je suis à France, je fais une nouvelle visite chez vous.
I hope so, because I would be hurted.
Oh, for sure. I'll come back and visit. Yes, for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and see you very soon.
This podcast is sponsored by the Durand Corkscrew. If you enjoy mature wine as much as I do, you know how challenging older corks can be. Even with experience, they don't always cooperate. I still remember the first time I saw a Durand in use back in 2012. I was gobsmacked. It solved a problem I and every serious wine drinker has faced. It is as close to foolproof as I've ever found for opening bottles of wine with older corks, and now I keep 3 of them on hand. Here at Uncorking What's Next, we're giving a Durant away. Just share with me the story of what made you fall in love with wine. You can share it by email or Instagram. Over the summer, we'll be picking the best story to share on the podcast, and that person will win a Durant. And if you'd rather not wait, you can order the Durant directly at www.thedurant.com. Well, you've made it to the end of the episode. Thank you for listening all the way through. I want to encourage your feedback. Please email me or send me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram. Please share with me if you like the show, what I can do better, and any guests or subjects that you think would be interesting. I'm really curious. I, Jess Zachariah, am the producer of this podcast. I'm still connected with Zacky's Auctions as a consultant and auctioneer in helping to bring in consignments. But this podcast is not in any way connected with Zacky's. I also want to thank everyone who's made this podcast possible. I want to thank my daughter, Josephine Zachariah, my son and his wife, Tom and Alyssa Zachariah. All 3 are in the wine business, and I'm grateful for their thoughts and insights. My good friend, Christian Kuipers, for the artwork. My daughter by choice, Hannah Tobias, for the music. Soraya Perry, editor. Amelia Langus, marketing. And my amazing wife, Frederique, for her continued and constant support. Thank you.